Email it to Eyewitness News and video at myabc7.com.
Welcome to World News from Fairbanks, Alaska. Tonight, an ABC News exclusive interview with Governor Sarah Palin. She talks about her experience, her view of the world, and her readiness for office. Can you look the country in the eye and say, I have the ability to be not just vice president, but perhaps president of the United States of America?
I do, Charlie. I'm ready.
Target zone. Hurricane Ike takes a turn, and suddenly Houston and its 5 million area residents are in its path. Traffic is jammed. People race to get out of town. And on the anniversary of 9/11, a memorial at the Pentagon and a rare sign of political unity at Ground Zero.
From ABC News, this is World News with Charles Gibson, reporting tonight from Alaska.
Good evening. We are in Fairbanks tonight, where we spent part of the day with Alaska's Governor Sarah Palin for her first extensive interview since being named John McCain's running mate. We met with the governor shortly before she addressed a deployment ceremony for an Army infantry division, which includes her son Track. He will be sent to Iraq later this month. The ceremony coming on this, the 7th anniversary of September 11th. We're going to have further conversations with Governor Palin tonight and tomorrow that will be on this broadcast tomorrow. But on this day, when national security is on everyone's mind, we wanted to talk about her view of the world. Governor, let me start by asking you a question that I asked John McCain about you. And it is really the central question. Can you look the country in the eye and say, I have the experience and I have the ability to be not just vice president, but perhaps president of the United States of America?
I do, Charlie. And on January 20th, when John McCain and I are sworn in, if we are so privileged to be elected to serve this country, we'll be ready. I'm ready.
When McCain asked you to take the number 2 spot on the ticket, for a moment, did you think no?
I did not. I thought yes, right off the bat. When he offered me the position as his running mate, the first thing I said to him was, if you really think that I can help the ticket, if you really think that I can help this country, absolutely, I want to do this with you.
And you didn't say to yourself, am I experienced enough? Am I ready?
I didn't hesitate. No,
Doesn't that take some hubris?
I answered him yes, because I have the confidence in that readiness and knowing that you can't blink. You have to be wired in a way of being so committed to the mission that we're on, reform of this country and victory in the war. You can't blink. So I didn't blink then, even when asked to run as his running mate.
But this is not just reforming a government. This is also running a government on a huge international stage in a very dangerous world. When I asked John McCain about your national security credentials, he cited the fact that you have command of the Alaskan National Guard and that Alaska is close to Russia. Are those sufficient credentials?
But it is about reform of government, and it's about putting government back on the side of the people. And that has much to do with foreign policy and national security issues. Let me speak specifically about a credential that I do bring to this table, Charlie, and that's with the energy independence that I've been working on for these years as the governor of this state that produces nearly 20% of the U.S. domestic supply of energy, that I worked on as chairman of the Alaska Oil and Gas Conservation Commission, overseeing the oil and gas developments in our state to produce more for the United States.
National security is a whole lot more than energy.
It is, but I want you to not lose sight of the fact that energy is a foundation of national security. It's that important. It's that significant.
Did you ever travel outside the country prior to your trip to Kuwait and Germany last year?
Canada, Mexico, and then, yeah, that trip that was a trip of a lifetime to visit our troops in Kuwait and stop and visit our injured soldiers in Germany. That was a trip of a lifetime, and it changed my life.
Have you ever met a foreign head of state?
I have not, and I think if you go back in history and if you ask that question of many vice presidents, they may have the same answer that I just gave you. But Charlie, again, We got to remember what the desire is in this nation at this time. It is for no more politics as usual and somebody's big fat resume maybe that shows decades and decades in that Washington establishment where, yeah, they've had opportunity to meet heads of state.
Let me ask you about some specific national security situations.
Sure.
Let's start, because we are near Russia, let's start with Russia and Georgia. The administration has said we've got to maintain the territorial integrity of Georgia. Do you believe the United States should try to restore Georgian sovereignty over South Ossetia and Abkhazia?
First off, we're going to continue good relations with Saakashvili there. I was able to speak with him the other day and giving him my commitment as John McCain's running mate that we will be committed to Georgia. And we've got to keep an eye on Russia. For Russia to have exerted such pressure in terms of invading a smaller democratic country unprovoked is unacceptable, and we have to keep...
You believe unprovoked?
I do believe unprovoked, and we have got to keep our eyes on Russia under the leadership there.
What insight into Russian actions, particularly in the last couple of weeks, does the proximity of the state give you?
They're our next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Favor putting Georgia and Ukraine into NATO?
Ukraine, definitely, yes. Yes, and Georgia. Putin thinks otherwise. Obviously, he thinks otherwise.
And under the NATO treaty, wouldn't we then have to go to war if Russia went into Georgia?
Perhaps so. I mean, that is the agreement when you are a NATO ally, is if another country is attacked, you're going to be expected to be called upon and help.
Let me turn to Iran. Do you consider a nuclear Iran to be an existential threat to Israel?
I believe that under the leadership of Ahmadinejad, nuclear weapons in the hands of his government are extremely dangerous to everyone on this globe, yes.
So what should we do about a nuclear Iran?
We have got to make sure that these weapons of mass destruction, that nuclear weapons, are not given to those hands of Ahmadinejad. Not that he would use them, but that he would allow terrorists to be able to use them. So we have got to put the pressure on Iran.
What if Israel decided it felt threatened and needed to take out the Iranian nuclear facilities?
Well, first, we are friends of Israel, and I don't think that we should second guess the measures that Israel has to take to defend themselves and for their security.
So if we wouldn't second guess it and they decided they needed to do it because Iran was an existential threat, we would be cooperative or agree with that?
I don't think we can second guess what Israel has to do to secure its nation.
So if it felt necessary, if it felt the need to defend itself by taking out Iranian nuclear facilities, that would be all right?
We cannot second guess the steps that Israel has to take to defend itself.
We talk on the anniversary of 9/11. Why do you think those hijackers attacked? Why did they want to hurt us?
You know, there is a very small percentage of Islamic believers who are extreme and they are violent and they do not believe in American ideals. And they attacked us. And now we are at a point here 7 years later on the anniversary in this post 9/11 world where we're able to commit to never again. The only option for them is to become a suicide bomber, to get caught up in this evil, in this terror. They need to be provided the hope that all Americans have instilled in us, because we're a democratic, we are a free, and we are a free-thinking society.
Do you agree with the Bush doctrine?
In what respect, Charlie?
The Bush, well, what do you interpret it to be?
His worldview?
No, the Bush doctrine, enunciated September 2002, before the Iraq War.
I believe that what President Bush has attempted to do is rid this world of Islamic extremism, terrorists who are hell-bent on destroying our nation. There have been blunders along the way, though. There have been mistakes made. And with new leadership, and that's the beauty of American elections, of course, and democracy, is with new leadership comes opportunity to do things better.
The Bush doctrine, as I understand it, is that we have the right of anticipatory self-defense, that we have the right to a preemptive strike against any other country that we think is going to attack us. Do you agree with that?
Charlie, if there is legitimate and enough intelligence that tells us that a strike is imminent against American people, we have every right to defend our country.
Do we have the right to be making cross-border attacks into Pakistan from Afghanistan, with or without the approval of the Pakistani government?
As for our right to invade, we're going to work with these countries, building new relationships, working with existing allies, but forging new also, in order to, Charlie, get to a point in this world where war is not going to be a first option. In fact, war has got to be, and military strike, a last option.
But Governor, I'm asking, we have the right, in your mind, to go across the border with or without the approval of the Pakistani government?
In order to stop Islamic extremists, those terrorists who would seek to destroy America and our allies, we must do whatever it takes, and we must not blink, Charlie, in making those tough decisions of where we go and even who we target.
And let me finish with this. I got lost in a blizzard of words there. Is that a yes, that you think we have the right to go across the border with or without the approval of the Pakistani government to go after terrorists who are in the Waziristan area?
I believe that America has to exercise all options in order to stop the terrorists who are hell-bent on destroying America and our allies. We have got to have all options out there on the table.
We also talked about Iraq. Governor Palin made some provocative comments about the war in a recent appearance in an Alaskan church. We'll have her comments on that at the end of the broadcast. Still ahead on World News from Alaska, marking the anniversary of the September 11th attacks. In prayer, in silence, and in unity at Ground Zero. And a dangerous Hurricane Ike roars toward Texas. The Houston area is in its crosshairs and people are scrambling for safety.
This is World News with Charles Gibson. Brought to you by Healthy Choice.
Steaming is such an important part of fresh Asian cuisine.
It unlocks the intricate flavors of ingredients.
Like spicy red peppers and zesty oranges.
But not everyone has a bamboo steamer.
That's why we created new Asian-inspired Healthy Choice Cafe steamers.
Our innovative steamer cooks right in your microwave to bring out the fresh taste.
For tender chicken and fluffy rice in a delicious sweet and spicy sauce.
New Asian-inspired Healthy Choice Cafe steamers in 4 authentic recipes.
I've had asthma for 17 years.
I've had asthma for 24 years.
For 5 years.
All my life.
Even with my medicine, my symptoms kept coming back.
So I thought this was as good as it gets. Until I found out I could actually help prevent my symptoms.
I could help prevent my symptoms.
Turns out there are 2 main causes of asthma symptoms. Airway constriction I feel, and inflammation I may not. Most medicines don't treat both. So my doctor prescribed Advair.
Advair treats both main causes to help prevent symptoms in the first place.
Advair contains salmeterol. Salmeterol may increase the chance of asthma-related death. So Advair is not for asthma that's well controlled on another controller medicine. Advair will not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be taken more than twice a day. Talk to your doctor about the risks and benefits of Advair. If you take Advair, see your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
If you're still having symptoms, ask your doctor how to help prevent them with Advair.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at Advair.com.
Fair, straightforward pricing. That's what TD Ameritrade stands for. Think about it. Why pay investing fees you shouldn't have to, or account fees that aren't clear, like inactivity fees or maintenance fees? It's not right, and you know it. And the thing is, the other investment firms know it, but they do it anyway, and that's just not fair or straightforward. TD Ameritrade. Independence is the spirit that drives America's most successful investors.
It seems so exceptional that things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary miracle today.
You take the time to care for so many in your life. Take a little time for yourself and save on the hottest items of the season at the CVS Pharmacy Semi-Annual Beauty Sale. CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
From Ground Zero to Washington to rural Pennsylvania, Americans mark the 7th anniversary of the September 11th attacks today. President Bush spent part of his final September 11th in office at the unveiling of the Pentagon Memorial. And in a welcome gesture of unity, both presidential candidates visited the site where the World Trade Center towers stood and fell. Here's ABC's Dan Harris.
Perhaps the most poignant reminder of the magnitude of the loss, even more piercing than the sadly familiar reading of the 2,751 names.
Thomas Anderson Hobbs.
J.
Scott Michael Johnson.
And the placing of flowers at the footprint of the towers. Perhaps most poignant was this testimonial from 3 children who were only 3, 4, and 6 years old when their father went off to work for the last time.
I wish I could remember more, but we were so young when he died.
Even though he is gone, he is still with us and helps us to be better people. For our dad, we try to be kinder and help people in need.
We love you, Daddy.
Hours after the families left Ground Zero, Barack Obama and John McCain arrived, having agreed to pull their campaign ads for a day. There were ceremonies too today in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, at the Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, and at the Pentagon, where President Bush helped dedicate a new memorial with 184 benches, each engraved with a victim's name, arrayed along the path of the hijacked plane.
There is, however, no memorial here at Ground Zero, and there's unlikely to be one anytime soon. The Wall Street Journal recently referred to the rebuilding effort here on these 16 acres as arguably the biggest political and bureaucratic fiasco in the history of the world.
Last year, the officials overseeing the project were enthusiastically predicting the memorial and the high-rises would be done by 2012. Now, much of it, they say, is behind schedule and over budget. For many people who lost family members, today was more personal. Greg Hoffman, who lost his identical twin brother Stephen, says he's turning a corner.
I'm living a lot for both of us. In the beginning, I tried, and it didn't work for years. I didn't want to do anything, the golfing, the coaching, all the fun stuff that made me feel good about living, and now I'm able to.
The hole is still there, he says, but the rawness, the sting, that is getting better. Dan Harris, ABC News, New York.
And on this anniversary, a grim milestone in Afghanistan. An American soldier was killed there today, making this the deadliest year for U.S. troops in Afghanistan since the invasion shortly after September 11th. 112 U.S. troops have died in Afghanistan so far this year. Still ahead, evacuations in Texas ahead of Hurricane Ike. Millions of people are in its path.
They tickle, they tease, and you sneeze. Maybe it's time to ask your doctor about Singulair. While many allergy medicines block histamine, Singulair blocks leukotrienes, an underlying cause of nasal allergy symptoms. And that's how Singulair works differently. 1 pill, once a day. Side effects are generally mild and vary by age and may include headache, ear infection, sore throat, and upper respiratory infection. Singulair, a different way to treat allergies.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of NetZero. All internet providers take you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? NetZero is only $9.95 a month, and we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
Talk about a wake-up call. I had a heart attack at 57. My doctor told me I should have been doing more for my high cholesterol. What was I thinking? But now, I trust my heart to Lipitor.
When diet and exercise are not enough, adding Lipitor may help. Unlike some other cholesterol-lowering medications, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain kinds of heart surgeries if you have several common risk factors or heart disease. Lipitor has been extensively studied with over 16 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
I learned the hard way, but you may be able to do something.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
My 5-year-old, Alex.
No talking. It's better.
Bertram Pincus is not a people person.
Can you hold the elevator?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, hold.
No.
You got a sec?
The guy who can't stand the living.
What are you seeing?
Ghosts. Go away.
Has to deal with the dead.
They're everywhere, and you're a noisy, demanding bunch. Fuck off. Sorry?
Ghost Town.
It's not you. It's a bit you.
Rated PG-13, September 19th.
Gas relief products come in two types. Those you take after food gives you gas, discomfort, embarrassment, and you bloat up like a beach ball. Or take Beano. Tough call. Take Beano before, and they'll Beano gas. Now, prevent gas anywhere with new Beano to go.
In the state of Texas, hundreds of thousands of people are on the move to get out of the way of Hurricane Ike. It is a sprawling Category 2 storm and likely to grow stronger before it makes landfall early this weekend. Ike not only is powerful, it is bearing down on one of the nation's largest population centers. ABC's Ryan Owens tonight is in Houston.
Today in Houston, every hour was rush hour, and all of the traffic was headed in one direction, north. Long lines at many gas stations, shortages at some. The revised path brings the monster storm dangerously close not just to huge population centers, but vital infrastructure, including the nation's largest oil refinery and NASA's Johnson Space Center. Mission Control has temporarily been moved inland. Today, hospitals in Houston and Galveston were forced to evacuate their most vulnerable patients, including these babies from a neonatal intensive care unit.
I cannot overemphasize the danger that is facing us. It's going to do some substantial damage.
And that's the real concern. Sure, Ike's winds of more than 100 miles an hour will be dangerous, but that is not what has so many people fleeing this city. It is fear of the storm surge.
You can almost consider the hurricane sort of like a bulldozer that's pushing a wall of water in front of it, moving pretty fast, a lot faster than a bulldozer would move.
Give me some idea what we're looking at here. Okay. To plan the evacuation of low-lying parts of this city, leaders are looking to this computer animation, which shows what a Category 5 storm surge would do to Houston. It would cause billions in damage, even flooding downtown. Tonight, forecasters say Ike is likely to be a Category 3 when it makes landfall. Millions of Texans are not sticking around to see exactly what Ike can do. Ryan Owens, ABC News, Houston.
The future of Lehman Brothers continued to hang in the balance today as the once powerful investment bank looked for a buyer to save it. Shares of Lehman plunged again. It's now down 92% from a year ago. Wall Street had a late-day rally as oil got closer to $100 a barrel. The Dow was up 165 points, the NASDAQ 30. And when we return, more of our interview with Governor Palin, her soldier son, the Iraq War, and the will of God.
Space is infinite, but it's my job to shrink it. I work for an Air and Space Museum, and I take the largest objects in the universe and bring them down in size. So when my doctor said that my going and going could get worse because my prostate was growing, I said, how can we shrink it? He said, Avodart. Avodart is different because over time, it actually shrinks the prostate, so I go less often. Other medicines, they don't treat the cause because they don't shrink the prostate.
Avodart is for men only. Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare professional can determine if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Ask your doctor about Avodart today. It's your growing problem. It's our job to shrink it. Avodart.
Great soup, Jen. What's your secret?
An incredibly high degree of culinary intuition plus years of experience.
You mean Swanson broth?
Yeah.
Made with all-natural chicken stock and flavored with garden vegetables and herbs, the secret to great-tasting homemade soups is Swanson broth.
The first time I had Silk, my boyfriend said, oh, I found this. It's called Silk. I think it looks kind of good. Let's give it a shot. We literally sat down like we were in the taste test and ate it with our cereal. It was good. It was cold. It was good in the cereal. It gave kind of like the bland, healthy cereal a little bit of like a, you know, like a little bit of personality. It is such an easy thing you can do to start getting healthier.
Silk has soy protein, antioxidants, and omega-3s, plus all the calcium and vitamins A and D of milk. Silk. Take a sip forward.
Have you heard about Miralax?
It's a different kind of laxative that's kind to your body.
Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating.
No cramping. And now, no prescription.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
In my work, I depend on my eyes to capture the natural wonder of this planet. That's why I wear Transitions lenses. They adjust to changing light, and help protect my eyes from UV damage, like sunblock protects my skin.
Ask your eye care professional today about Transitions lenses. Purchase a pair of Transitions lenses, and you can register your certificate of authenticity online for a chance to win cash. And a donation will be made to eye charities through the Transitions Healthy Sight for Life Fund.
2 weeks from tonight,
Do you want to move in with me?
Unless, of course, you just want to go ahead and get married.
Grey's Anatomy is back.
Hot.
Is that good?
Very good.
ABC's Grey's Anatomy. 2-hour season premiere 2 weeks from tonight, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Tonight, see more of the exclusive Palin interview on Nightline. And tomorrow, Charlie Gibson with new details and another new interview with Sarah Palin on Good Morning America and World News. Then, tomorrow night, a special 2020, Who is the Real Sarah Palin?
Finally tonight, a bit more of our conversation with Sarah Palin, our entire interview today about national security issues. I asked her about some comments she made regarding Iraq. The comments were made to the congregants of her former church.
You said recently in your old church, our national leaders are sending U.S. soldiers on a task that is from God.
Pray for our military men and women who are striving to do what is right also for this country, that our leaders, our national leaders, are sending them out on a task that is from God.
Are we fighting a holy war?
The reference there is a repeat of Abraham Lincoln's words when he said, first he suggested, never presume to know what God's will is, and I would never presume to know God's will or to speak God's words. But what Abraham Lincoln had said, and that's a repeat in my comments, was, let us not pray that God is on our side in a war or any other time, but let us pray that we are on God's side. That's what that comment was all about, Charlie. Today is the day that I send my firstborn, my son, my teenage son, overseas with his Stryker Brigade, 4,000 other wonderful American men and women to fight for our country, for democracy, for our freedoms.
But you went on and said there is a plan, and it is God's plan.
I believe that there is a plan for this world, and that plan for this world is for good. I believe that there is great hope and great potential for every country to be able to live and be protected with inalienable rights that I believe are God-given, Charlie, and I believe that those are the rights to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. That, in my worldview, is the grand plan.
But then are you sending your son on a task that is from God?
I don't know if the task is from God, Charlie. What I know is that my son has made a decision. I am so proud of his independent and strong decision he has made. What he decided to do in serving for the right reasons, in serving something greater than self, in not choosing a real easy path where he could be more comfortable and certainly safer.
And that is World News for this Thursday from Fairbanks, Alaska. As you heard a moment ago, you can see more of this interview today with Governor Sarah Palin later on Nightline. And tomorrow, as I mentioned, we will interview the governor again, this time in her hometown of Wasilla. And we're going to be talking about domestic issues and her record as mayor and governor. I'm Charlie Gibson, and I hope you had a good day. For all of us at ABC News, have a good night.
Starting Monday, come right along with us on
the Good Morning America Whistle Stop Tour.
5 breathtaking mornings, making TV history. Monday, it all starts off with Barack Obama. Then Wednesday, John and Cindy McCain jump on the train.
When you see news happening, call the Eyewitness News tip line toll-free at 877-777-NEWS.
People all over Southern California are dropping into San Manuel. One reason is to play our over 3,500 slot machines. San Manuel now has hundreds of additional machines. With a remodeled second floor and dedicated areas for non-smoking, penny slots, and classic machines, San Manuel is now more than ever a slot lover's paradise. San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Close by, so drop in anytime. New 210 freeway to San Bernardino.
Every woman should hear Jody's story. Jody was always healthy.
Her Pap was always normal. Still, I recommended she also get the HPV test. Her Pap looked fine. The HPV test showed
she had the virus that could cause cervical cancer.
Most HPV infections don't cause problems, but another exam confirmed she had cervical disease.
But Jody's story has a happy ending.
We caught it before it became cancer. So if you're 30 or over, make sure